4A State Championship Baseball from Miller Park, home of the BYU Cougars. Today and tomorrow games here at BYU. Then they'll switch Wednesday over to Utah Valley University all the way through championship Saturday. One game already in the books as we welcome you into our Finley Subaru pregame show. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave with you here at Miller Park. And that was an exciting Mountain Crest victory, 5-1 as they send Desert Hills into the loser side of the bracket. But up next, Snow Canyon Warriors, the overall #1 seed, taking on the 8 seed, the Bear River Bears.
Yeah, Snow Canyon playing some really good baseball right now. They have won about, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of their last 8 games, Devin. They have been playing some really good baseball. Coach Sechrist always has his team ready to go.
Yeah, looks like Coden Herman going to get the ball for Coach Sechrist as the Warriors come in as a top seed, much to the chagrin of the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Remember, they split during the regular season, both winning 1-0.
Yeah.
But RPI takes in every game, every score, and they deemed it over the course of the season. Snow Canyon played a little tougher schedule and had just a little bit better RPI. So Crimson is the 2 seed, even though they're the defending state champs. Will they meet later this week? We'll just have to wait and see.
You'll definitely wait and see. And I am so excited for this week of baseball, Devin. And, you know, just when I know the RPI has its formula, but just going off of the eye test, I think Snow Canyon is they got a little what's the word I'm looking for? Well, let me just say Crimson got hosed a little bit. I think looking at the eye test, I think Crimson, this is no slight to this really good Snow Canyon team, but Crimson to me all season long has looked like the RPI #1 team.
Well, look, had they swept,
yeah,
Snow Canyon swept or Crimson swept, it would have been easier. But when you split and the score's identical,
yeah, I know.
And you just have to look at the whole body work, and it's no secret you got to schedule good teams and beat good teams, and that's going to help your RPI. And then you need those teams to beat other people, and your opponents have to play well. And so there's a lot of that formula that's a little bit out of your hands.
And again, this is no slight to Crimson now. I kind of thought that preseason schedule that Coach Abbott lined up was a little soft, and I think it came back to kind of get them in the RPI late in the season. But eye test to me, Crimson is really the team to beat, even though they're the #2 seed. Snow Canyon's the #1 seed. I still think Crimson, the reigning champs, are the team to beat.
Yeah, this is the Finley Subaru pregame show. Bear River will have something to say as they will take on the 1 seed. I remember Bear River in the Super Regionals playing Crimson Cliffs and taking them to a 3-game series last year at Crimson. Then Crimson goes on to win the state tournament. This Bear River team is scrappy, and they are well coached, and they are tough to beat. And if Rigby's getting the ball, watch out. This kid is class of 2024, and he's turning some heads, baby. This kid is an unbelievable pitcher, and Coden Herman is now taken to the mound for some warm-up tosses, and we're getting closer and closer to the first pitch. Let's dive into our keys to the game, Mark. Let's start with the Snow Canyon Warriors. What do you think is going to be important for Coach Sechrist?
I think Coden, the kid on the bump, just needs to throw a lot of strikes, pitch to contact. You know, we saw last game, just the game prior to this one, Desert Hills Mountain Crest, where walks came back to haunt the Thunder. And it doesn't matter what team it is, that's what they have to do. They have to make Bear River earn their way onto the base paths, not give them free passes. And then also just good defense. It's going to come down to good pitching by Coden Herman and also defense as well. He's got to pitch to contact, and the defense has to do the rest of the work. I think they do have a very, very good defensive team. We know what their bats can do.
Yeah, their bats are absolutely electric. Sam Lindsay has kind of been leading the charge. He kind of cooled off a little bit, but then other guys kind of started heating up towards the seat and picked him up.
Kelly, there were several players that were really swinging the bat well for the Warriors. And you know, again, not to take anything away from Bear River here, they have won 5 of their last 6 baseball games. So they are playing some really good baseball right now.
Yeah, no question about that. You know, they absolutely pounded past Pineview in the Super Regional last weekend. You know, the one game I thought maybe Pineview would win, Nash Schroeder on the mound, 8-0, and had no problem there. And here they are, 15-9, but 8-7 in region. But like you said, they've won 5 in a row. Coden Herman ready to go. We are underway. Let's play some ball here at the Yard, Miller Park. Beautiful day. Wind 2 to 4 miles an hour blowing out. Got the mountains in the backdrop. You got that whitewashed Y on the hills. And the first pitch was a strike from Herman, and that one sawed off and fouled the Cache Valley Bank foul ball, and so quickly 0-2.
And Summers here, their leadoff hitter for Bear River, he is hitting .364. He's had a great Region 11 play.
And that one just down low, ball one from Coden Herman. We'll get you the numbers on Herman in just a second. Of course, his brother pitching for Utah Tech.
Yeah.
And Carson, and this is Coden.
That pitch was just out off the plate for ball 2. Yeah, and one's a lefty, one's a righty. Coden here's the righty.
Snow Canyon enters this game at 20-5. Tank Kelly grounder. It's in the dirt, and it stays in the dirt, and he has to eat it, no play. It'll be interesting to see how they score that one.
Oh, that is E5 all day long, Double D. That's a play that Kelly will tell you he should make every single time. Not 9 out of 10 times. He'll tell you he needs to make that play 10 out of 10 times. That's E5.
So Summers aboard on the E5. And Snow Canyon will go to work here on Marble. And that one in for a called strike at the knees. First pitch coming here about 3:08 p.m. So 8 minutes behind its scheduled 3 o'clock start here. And we are underway. Temperatures right around 75, 77 degrees. Just a beautiful day. We are going to have some special guests join us. A couple of BYU players that happen to be alumni of the Snow Canyon Warriors. Luke Anderson and potentially, I think, Austin Deming both might stop by and join us for a little bit of the broadcast today in the second and the third inning.
Boy, I really hope they do. That would be
slow roll to second.
Fun to talk to.
Flip
them.
over to second and on to first. It's a double play. 4-6-3. And just like that, a Morgan Pest Control Defensive Play of the Game nominee.
Yeah, again, defense kind of got that runner on first, but they make up for it with a double play there. That's a pitcher's best friend.
First base, number 26, Garrick Marble.
Garrick Marble will step in. And you've got, I believe, cousins. I don't believe they're brothers. I believe they're cousins from last year, going off memory.
Okay.
And Garrison is a .378 hitter, and there's a swat into center field, ranging over, and on the run, making a catch right on the warning track for out number 3 was Sam Lindsay. So 3 up, 3 down for the Warriors, but 4 batters faced. They got the double play to erase one of them. And so you had that error that gave the Bears a base runner, but that was it as Coden Herman does his job. So no runs, no hits, and ultimately nobody left on base through a half an inning. We're underway here in our Boulevard home for a state baseball coverage. I want to keep it just a quick break here, a 30-second break, and then we'll be back. Won't have time to get you the whole starting lineup presented by House to Jump for both these teams. Set the table on offense and defense when we come back.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains away. Member FDIC, Equal Housing.
Santa Clara and in Hurricane, think Bucks.
All right, we are back live here at Miller Park. A little matinee baseball here. Already Mountain Crest has won. Mets on Fire update from earlier. If you're just tuning in, they beat Desert Hills 5-1. 5-1, the final score. And here is Rigby. Rigby is a highly recruited pitcher, class of 2024. Deegan Rigby gets the ball, beat Pineview going against Nash Schroeder 8-0 last Thursday. And Rigby ready to go as he steps in. He's a right-handed pitcher. And the windup and the pitch outside for ball 1. The Warriors go Mikhail Swenson, Cruz Sechrist, Ryder Harrison, Sam Lindsay hitting 4, then Hayden Smith, Ince, Kelly, Hafen, and Loveland is playing first but not hitting.
Swenson's had a really good season for the Warriors, swinging the bat.
And a swing and a miss. Yes, he has.
As a leadoff hitter.
Well, if you remember, he was down in the middle of the lineup,
Yeah.
and then he just kept swatting better and better and better. It got all the way up to 478 batting average, and they moved him up in the lineup. Slow roller to short. Gobbled up by Marble. The throw over in time and one away.
Yeah, good play by the shortstop. Easy peasy.
House of jump. They encourage you to bounce off the walls. Here's the defense. Benson behind the plate. Pitcher is Rigby. Good Life is at third. Marble is at short. Potter at second. Garrison Marble over at first. Summers in left. Carter in center. And Jepson is out in right.
And I did have a Bear River insider just text me and say, yes, Talon and Garrick are cousins.
I thought I remembered that from last year. Yes, indeed.
And when I say he's an insider, he's the guy that tapes up their ankles.
Gotcha. I know exactly who you're talking about.
I know you do.
Hi, Sean. Shot into the alleyway, into center field. Got a beat on it. And on the run makes the catch, robbing Sechrist.
That is definitely a nominee for the defensive play of the game, Devin.
My
goodness.
Mr. Carter, I see out there roaming. And this is bigger dimensions than at Bear River High School or Snow Canyon High School.
Yes.
Maybe the turf makes you run faster.
And maybe that ball was squared up.
And
nice
the wind
play.
is blowing out, so great play in center by Carter.
Yeah.
And here's Ryder Harrison. Of course, his cousin, KJ, tragically drowned, but a great Warrior. I remember calling KJ's games when he was a Warrior. He got the number on the fence at Snow Canyon High School. And, of course, Ryder's dad is he's kind of the hitting coach for Coach Reed Sechrist.
Well, they got a great coaching staff over there at Snow Canyon.
Swing and a miss on a 1-1 pitch for strike 2. Rigby, Deegan Rigby. I've heard a lot about this kid.
Big right-hander.
Yep. Good velo, and that one tailing away, but just missing. And it's 2-2. Of course, Coach Hawes, the head coach of the Bears, and that one fouled up and out of play. It's a Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
The infield playing normal as the outfield kind of shifted to the right field a little bit. Center field way on the right side of second base. He's really shadowed over that way.
That one fouled, almost identical location.
In fact, left fielder Summers out there, kind of a man. He's out there on an island out there in left field. There's nobody around him.
And I don't have a spray chart, obviously, high school level, but I think Ryder Harrison can go the other way with
Yeah,
it.
I do too. He has a swing that he can go oppo.
Breaking ball doesn't break. And full count to Ryder Harrison here. The bottom of the first inning, no score. 2 outs after a great play by Carter in center field on a well-hit ball off the bat of Cruz Sechrist. And they lost him. That one just a bit outside. Ryder Harrison draws a base on balls walk, and Sam Lindsay, the cleanup hitter, will step in. And what a season Sam Lindsay has had.
He jumped out on the home run lead in all of Utah, not just 4A classification. He was leading in home runs for the entire state of Utah. Then he kind of slowed down a little bit, but this kid can square up a ball and it's going.
And that pitch down low, ball 1.
Probably see a lot of off-speed stuff to Sam Lindsay because he does hunt fastballs.
Still hitting .397, 10 home runs. This is a team that's hit 33 home runs collectively.
Wow.
The guy that just walked, Ryder Harrison, had 6 of those. And there's a swing, and it's popped up into shallow center. Got to come in hard, try to get to it, and he does. Oh. And Carter makes another web gem.
Wow. Unbelievable play there by Carter out there in center field, coming in and then slides on his butt and makes that catch. Nice play by the center fielder.
No runs, no hits. 1 man left on base through 1 full inning. Scoreless baseball on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. We'll be right back. Warriors, Bears go to the second on the Fan Sports Network and streaming on KSLSports.com.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer or stop by any branch.
Devin Nixon, Mark Musgrave in the booth. Dusty Allen, our video producer, streaming on KSLSports.com and link up on the FanSportsNetwork.com. Got Cannon on the camera. Rory's back in the Finley Hyundai Studios. And game today brought to you by Mountain Land Supply, your home for Bryant. Mountain Land Supply features Bryant, Southern Utah's premier heating and cooling systems for your home or your commercial property. Bryant, whatever it takes. Coden Herman back on the mound, slow roller to third. Tank Kelly grabs this one, no problem. Throws a clothesline across for the 5-3 putout.
That's 11 pitches, 4 outs. He got in that first inning. 10 pitches got out of that first inning. Again, the double play was a big-time help. But, yeah, now that's 11 pitches, 4 outs. That's efficiency right there. And you know, Devin, you've seen enough of these state tournaments. Arms and pitching is everything in the state tournament.
Yes, indeed. Here's Rigby, who came in with a 1.13 ERA, 5-0 record, that will step into the Buck Brand Beef batter's box. And Rigby, 333 hitter at the plate. Still good numbers.
Yeah.
For Deegan Rigby.
Yeah, when you're 5-0 on the bump and hitting 333 at the plate, that's a pretty good season.
Second on the team in RBIs behind Marble, Garrick Marble. So he's been very productive. And quickly the count rolls to 1-1. The righty for the Warriors, Coden Herman, rocks, fires, shot down the line, but foul on the first base, right field side. Appreciate Buck Brand Beef as Deegan Rigby's in the batter's box. Kanab, grass-fed, homegrown Southern Utah beef. You want to get a half a side, you want to get a full side. All you got to do is either email buckbrand@gmail.com, or you can give them a call, give you the phone number. You want to split one with your neighbor, split one with somebody at work, split a side of beef so you can be grilling and chilling all summer long. You can call 435-644-2825. They'll even cut it up just how you want it. A swing, and this is a shot but foul down the third base left field line now. Andrew Lyon will chase after that ball.
Gets out there in the field to play, so they're going to hold things up here for just a few seconds.
Defense behind Coden Herman. Smith is the catcher. Talon Kelly at third. Cruz Sechrist at short. Ince is at second. Loveland at first. Outfield, Ryder Harrison's in left. Sam Lindsay's in center. And Makeo Swenson is in right. One of the big storylines is the team batting average for Snow Canyon. You can't play because you know, but listeners, viewers, take a guess as that one's fouled off. Take a guess what the team batting average for the Snow Canyon Warriors is coming into the state tournament. 357, the answer.
That's not bad.
350. That's as a team.
That's as a, yes.
Swing and a miss, and Rigby goes down. It's an S&S mechanical strikeout to hang on the board for Coden Herman.
Yeah, beautiful off-speed pitch there. He went up, elevated in the zone a little bit, and got the hitter to chase.
I mean, you put that into comparison, pretty even, because Bear River comes in 358.
My goodness.
So both these teams swinging it all season long.
And here's the thing, too. There's great pitchers in both regions that they've done that against.
Sure. 1-0 pitch, in for a called strike at the knees on the fastball. Herman, velo tops out probably 88. Sits that 85, 86 range most of the time on the fastball.
Mm-hmm.
Probably throws it harder than his older brother did when he was in high school, though. Garce has picked up some velo as he's just finishing up his sophomore year for Coach Fadenauer at Utah Tech University.
And being a lefty, you don't have to have that velo that a right-hander needs. You know, that's why they call them crafty lefties. But yeah, he's definitely picked up some velocity since his high school days.
Potter offers at that, and off the end of the bat, foul. Cache Valley Bank foul ball. As always, we'll be looking to hand out some awards in our broadcast. We've got our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. We had a bases clearing triple in the Mountain Crest win earlier that we went with, so we'll see what it is in this game. We'll also name a Hearst Ace Hardware Player of the Game for both schools, the Bears and the Warriors. Jersey Mike sub of the game, defensive play of the game. We got an award for everything. And a little slapper out to second. Ince gloves it, and 3 down. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go to the middle of the second, and no score on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard inside a Monday at Miller Park in the 4A State Baseball Championships on the Fan and KSL.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
cheesesteak
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's 2888.
Back live here at Miller Park, home of the BYU Cougars, and a former Snow Canyon Warrior and current BYU Cougar, Luke Anderson, joining us in the broadcast booth. Luke, thanks for stopping by. What's good, bud?
Thanks for having me.
Excited to have you. Just kind of wrapping up your freshman season. What do you guys got? 3 games left on the season before hopefully the conference tournament?
Yep, 3 more games against Pepperdine.
There you go. Luke's going to give us a little color analyst and talk. A lot of his former teammates down in the dugout. Gives a little insight on the Warriors. Oh, beanball right out of the gate, and Smith gets plunked. How do you like playing on this all-turf field?
It's awesome. It helps me in the infield a little bit because not so good on the dirt, but it helps me with the hops and stuff. But
everything's more true.
Yeah, exactly. And right now it's a little warmer, so.
Is it faster?
Yeah, depends on like the dirt and grass field that you're on, like if it's cut shorter, but it's a little bit faster. I mean, we've played on a few newer turf fields like Gonzaga, and it was a lot slower, but it's awesome. Beautiful field.
When you saw that the state tournament was coming to BYU, were you excited?
Oh, I was so excited. I was hoping we were home too, but it worked out perfect. We are playing at home.
Rigby ready after being in a guy, and Smith is at first. Here is Ince.
So now you've been to several different ballparks this year. Is there any ballpark that has this backdrop?
Nope. Not one.
Not even a question.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's awesome.
outside. Does being at the state tournament bring back some memories from last year down at Brucehurst?
Yeah, it definitely does, because we started off with Bear River, and we lost our first game, so hopefully they don't lose. But
that's right. That was the matchup.
Yeah.
And some of these guys you laced them up against the Marble Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Sechrist putting a lot of alumni to the next level, man. You can take a little pride in that.
Yeah, I mean, he does a good job getting people where they want to go.
Luke Anderson hanging out with us. We'll get more with Luke here. 2-0 pitch and in slow roller out to short. Marble high throw, and it scoots out of the glove, and everybody is safe. Potter, I think if he squeezes it, steps easily in time to get the force, but it came out of his glove before he touched the bag, and everybody is safe.
And Potter was late getting there, too. It seemed like he had a long ways to go. If that's where he was playing out there just on the outskirts of the dirt, well, the so-called dirt, and the outfield grass, because it looked like Marble kind of hesitated to throw that. What'd you see there, Luke?
The shortstop fielded it, and the second baseman was playing far over, so it looked like he was a little late to get there. He kind of hesitated on his throw, but it just looked like
kind of threw the timing off,
yeah,
didn't it?
It did for sure.
How's the freshman season going? You're hitting 297 right now, or 294 right now. You've been playing through an injury.
Mm-hmm.
You happy with those numbers as a freshman? I mean, you started all but 6 or 7 games this year for Coach Pratt.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be playing for sure. Wish a little bit of my numbers were higher or lower, but can't complain about it.
Tank Kelly fly out to right. They'll tag, and Smith will be safe down there. Second runner at first and stays put. So runners on the corners here for the Warriors with just one out.
What does Sechrist put on here, Luke? Does he tell his hitter to just put it in play?
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe a little steal, get something going, run down, get him going. I don't know if Sechrist is a big steal guy, but
does he like to steal runs, like get that runner at first in a rundown, and where the runner at third can score?
Yeah, we did that a little bit my senior year. But he's a big hitter guy.
Okay.
He's letting this guy hit for sure, see what he can do.
Hey, Corbin Hafen's been coming along nicely up to 364. He's kind of forced his way in with his play into the lineup for Coach Sechrist. Underclassman. Rigby called strike. Good pitch there by Deegan Rigby. Everybody says the speed of the game is so much faster jumping from high school to college. Do you feel that way too, Luke, or is it not as much as you even thought it would be?
I mean, it is definitely played a little bit faster than high school, and I realized that. It got the best of me for the first little bit of the season for sure. But yeah, you just got to kind of figure out how to slow yourself down, because, I mean, the atmosphere is just crazy. You're playing against good players. All these kids were the best at their high school, best where they came from. So it's great competition, but it definitely does speed you up a little bit.
And you guys were right. Coach Sechrist does bomb big equity. Baum still there. Jason Baum, big equity home loans. Slow roller off the bat of Hafen. Going to come tag in and get the out at first on the tag. So 2 away with runners on second and third here for the Warriors. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless baseball so far, but the Warriors threatening right here. And here is Loveland, senior, hitting .328.
First baseman, number 7, Brandon Loveland.
Now, on that, Luke, was he not going on contact there, the runner at third?
Yeah, that one's kind of hard because they're all playing in. I mean, it might have been slow enough to where you could have gone. You just kind of got to get a good read right off the bat to go on that.
And that is a speed-up runner. Gunn is in to run out there, too, for the catcher. Smith. Here, Rigby and a 1-0 pitch. Called strike. 1-1 the count now on Loveland. What's Loveland like? You were teammates with him last year.
Yeah, he's a quiet dude. He was really quiet last year, actually, but he's pretty funny. He's a funny kid. We got him going a few times last year.
Who was a teammate you hung out with the most? Like you roomed with when you went to state and that kind of stuff?
That's still playing, or?
Well, no, just they could be even seniors your age.
Isaac Lyon, probably.
Isaac?
Yeah, me and Isaac were best of friends.
BYU couldn't work out a package deal for both of you, huh?
I mean, they offered him. I just went to GCU.
Yeah.
Tried to get him.
Did you get a chance to say hi to Brandon down there?
Yeah, I did.
Of course, Isaac's little brother, Rue, in the dugout. Maybe we'll see him pitch a few innings up here at the state tournament. Just a sophomore. Swinging a miss from Loveland. And count now full here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 outs. Warriors runners on second and third, trying to strike first against Bear River. Teagan Rigby swinging a miss, and he got him. And Rigby showing a little emotion, a little fist pump there. He's fired up. It's an S&S mechanical strikeout. Luke, stick around. We're going to take a break. We'll come back to the top of the third. More on the Fan and KSLSports.com with Luke Anderson, former Snow Canyon Warrior, current BYU Cougar, right after this timeout.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main and Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Logan, South Jordan, Springville, and St. George.
Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, and Luke Anderson hanging out here as we go to the top of the third inning. Scoreless baseball game. The 8-seed Bear River taking on the 1-seed Snow Canyon here on a Monday at Miller Park, home of the Cougars. And that first pitch from Coden Herman fouled, pulled, well fouled. It's Cache Valley Bank foul ball. Appreciate Intermountain Sports Performance. There is no off-season. Get training today. Summer training sessions will fill up fast, so make sure and call Intermountain Sports Medicine from locations all the way up to Logan, all the way down to St. George, and in between, call 435-251-2299 to get started with your summer training packages. I'm sure a lot of baseball players out on the field for these two teams have probably both.
I'm sure they have.
Both teams have got guys that I'm sure have trained at Intermountain Sports Performance.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Luke, last year, I want to go back into your memory banks here a little bit. Who's the toughest pitcher you faced in Region 10?
Probably Peyton Gubler.
Peyton Gubler?
He got me, yeah.
Current teammate?
He got me a few times. But he was pretty good.
Slow roller out to third. Kelly, who had one mistake, has now made 2 smooth plays in a row. And it's a 5-3 putout in the scorebook. So Tank picked up an offer from Utah Tech a week or 2 ago.
And Aaron Morris from Crimson Cliffs, who we'll have on our broadcast later on today.
Yep. That's been a great recipe for Crimson. Start Ross and start Sampson and then give it to Morris on the back end.
It really has been. Yeah, you got those 2 lefties, those 2 big lefties, and then Aaron with the righty. It's really been a good recipe for sure.
Coden Herman right there with paints the edge for a called strike. 0-1 the count here on Jepson. What do you see from Coden Herman? Coden was around last year. Didn't pitch a lot of varsity, but you had him in the dugout, and he was with the team.
Yeah, he I'm not sure how many innings he got, but he pitched a little bit of varsity, and he actually did pretty good. But I know he's been dealing with some arm injuries the last few years, and he's just kind of rehabbed and just taking it slow. But he's always had really good stuff. I mean, I remember facing him in inter squads. He always had some really good stuff.
Speaking of Peyton Gubler, he just walked by us. He's got a big old sling on his arm. That's not good. Your pitching staff has had some injuries and been a little bit of a tougher year for the Cougars in the pitching department.
Yep. Lost a few guys.
A little bloop into center. Lindsey's going to let it drop. And it's going to be a little dirty bomb hit, the first hit of the game for either team by Jepson. Just kind of threw the bat out.
Yeah, and did it seem like Sam pulled up a little early on that?
I thought he was camped under it for a second.
Bigger dimensions here. Was it hard to get used to a little bit bigger dimension? I mean, I don't know exactly how much bigger this is than Snow Canyon High School, but it's a bigger field.
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger field for sure.
Into the hole. Sechrist loves it, but has no play. So back-to-back hits for the Bears. And they got a little something brewing here in the top of the third inning with just 1 out and 2 on. That was Roach. Sechrist made a good play to get to it. Love it, but by the time he got up and collected himself, there was no chance to go to first or second there.
But what that did do also, Devin, with that nice grab by Sechrist, is it kept those runners at first and second, not first and third or second and third.
Herman slowing down, checking the runners. Now breaking ball, and that one fell off the table and low for ball 1. The Summers again. 0 for 1. So back to the top of the order for Bear River here. And Coach Haas. So all of a sudden, Herman has given up back-to-back hits, and he'll have to regroup. And Smith, maybe sensing that, wants to say something.
Yeah, going back to that play out in center field, just barely that hit that dropped in front of Sam. As an outfielder's coach, I was always telling my players, run through the ball, and especially too, knowing on the situation, you had a runner on first, and it was kind of just a little flare. So even if he doesn't make that catch, it's not going to go far.
Yeah, I was going to say that it wasn't going to go anywhere if he missed it or let it go.
Back to Coden Herman. He turns, goes to second, relay on to first. And they do get the runner at second, but the runner over at first was safe. But Herman thought about going to third to get the lead runner.
Yeah, he did.
Decided to go for the double play to get out of the inning, and they almost got it. Mm-hmm. And you have to make that decision instantly if you're the pitcher on a comebacker like that was. Here's Talon Marble. Marble hitting .333 this year. 16 RBIs. Runners now on the corners with 2 away. No score here. You guys got 3 against Pepperdine, and you guys got to at least get 2 of the 3, maybe all 3, and then get a little help if you guys want to get in the West Coast Conference baseball tournaments.
Yeah, I think what it's looking like is probably have to sweep to have a really good shot of getting in. And then we need a few teams above us to lose a few games.
Mm-hmm. What's been your highlight this season?
Just playing here every day, practicing. Games are awesome here. The atmosphere, we have so many fans that come out and support. It's unbelievable.
Great park.
Does it fill up most nights?
Yeah. It fills up more Friday and Saturday. Thursday night we'll still get a lot of fans, but
chopper that's going to be tomahawked past Hank Kelly at third into left field. 1 run will score. And ball was bobbled to throw to third, not in time. So runners on second, third, and the Bears have an RBI single by Marble and a 1-0 lead. That pitch was high.
Yeah, that looked up. He did tomahawk it.
So the Bears jump out to the early lead. 3 hits in the inning. There's a great shot at S&S Mechanical Replay. And again, right there in left, it looked like Ryder just didn't field it cleanly, so he had to recollect it and then had to rush the throw, and they couldn't get the runner third. And here comes Boo, Brandon Lyon. What's Boo saying right now? You've been on that mound with Brandon walking out to talk to you. Not often, because he probably didn't have much to say to you, but what, did he crack jokes or ask what you had for breakfast or anything?
I mean, I was in the outfield most of high school and then played a little bit of first after my injury. towards the end. But yeah, he comes out. He just more of like calm. He does crack a few jokes. He's a jokester. So he just likes to make the pitcher calm down a little bit.
Yep. And the meeting with the infield drawn in is over. 2 years ago, Boo was calling most of the pitches. And then with the intercom system now coming down into the high school level, 2 years ago, he wasn't calling the pitches. And now that he can talk right to, Hayden's ear, and he's calling a lot more pitches the last 2 years. I'm sure Isaac loved that. Of course, Isaac didn't get it. You or Isaac could pitch last year. How frustrating was that last year in the state tournament, not being able to get out there and close a game?
Yeah, it was frustrating, but we battled back, got to the state championship, which we wanted to do, but it's definitely hard not having Isaac to start on the mound or me to come out and close it.
If it goes chalk, it's going to be potentially a rematch. Crimson and Snow Canyon again this year, the 1s and 2 seeds. Luke Anderson, our guest here, former Warrior, played with the team last year, now a freshman here at BYU. Joining us here in the broadcast booth.
Herman being careful with Marble here, kind of staying on that outside part of the plate. This lefty hitting about 378.
Yep.
So, yeah, dangerous hitter. Staying on that outside part of the plate, catches that corner.
How you like playing for Coach Pratt? Of course, got to know Trent Pratt and Coach Herring. They were part of Coach Littlewood's staff when they were, going back to the JUCO days in St. George.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Wild pitch, and the Bears score another run. 2-0 Bears.
They're great coaches, and they help us get better. They'll do anything that it takes to help us get better.
Of course, you're not the only Snow Canyon alumni on the Cougars team. Austin Deming, what a season he's having. Yeah, AD's been raking.
Yeah, it's been fun playing with him, and let alone watching him. It's unbelievable what that kid can do.
Of course, fans of baseball in the state of Utah know Cooper Vest, too. What's it like to have Cooper as a teammate, too? I know he went to Dixie High, but he's a Region 10 kid.
Yeah, Cooper plays hard every pitch. He's fun to watch as well, and he's battled a lot these last 2 years. He's tore both of his labrums, one each year, and just watching him come back and play this year and tear it up has been awesome.
Of course, we'll see Coop's little brother, Boston, tonight when Dixie plays Ridgeline in the nightcap. That's an 8 o'clock game.
Do you keep tabs on any other of your alumni, Warrior alumni, that went off and played next level baseball?
Yeah, just played Landon last week. I didn't play, but I got to watch him play. We played him a few times. We have a group chat. We always text each other, make sure everyone's doing good.
How's the rivalry in baseball between Utah and BYU? It looks like it's pretty healthy.
It's good.
What was
it's not as bad as I thought it'd be, but it still gets pretty chippy.
The one game you guys played, not the last one, but the one before, it was like a football score.
Oh yeah, it was.
Nobody could get it out. The ball was flying out of the yard.
Yeah, it was a crazy game.
And that's it. Well, should stay in the park, though, in the alleyway, hung up a little bit, and Lindsay will roam over and make the catch. But not before the Bear River Bears get 2 runs on 3 hits and take the 2-0 lead on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. We'll be back more from the 4A State Baseball Championships on KSLSports.com and the Fan Sports Network after this timeout message from our great local partners.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank. Mountains await. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Hey, welcome back. Miller Park. We're at Larry H. Miller Field and home of the BYU Cougars. Today and tomorrow baseball here. Then the 4A state bracket shifts over to Utah Valley University. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, and Cool Hand Luke Anderson. I'm going to stand for a minute, Luke. Have a seat. Luke hanging out with us for another inning. What was Coach Sechrist's message, you think, in between innings there after Bear River scratched across a couple runs there?
I mean, they've been having pretty good at bats. They've been getting runners on every inning. So I bet he's just saying stick with it. Don't try to do too much.
Swenson leading off 0 for 1. Grounded out to short in his first AB. To top of the order here in the bottom of the third for the Warriors. Sechrist is on deck. Ryder Harrison will bat third. A swing and a shot, and Swenson ropes it right up the middle. Swenson just a sophomore.
How is Coach Sechrist in the dugout talking to the players? Does he get loud?
Oh, he gets loud. Yeah. He gets loud. He makes sure everyone gets loud too.
Nice.
Good.
My favorite thing is watching him sprint to third base, but where they're the third base dugout here at BYU, there's not far for Coach to really sprint. I've been watching Coach Sechrist do that for, as long as he's been the coach there. It's turned into more of a healthy jog, but he still gets a little hustle on. I didn't catch it. Did he run over to third from the dugout? Did you see?
I have no clue. I didn't see it.
We'll have to get a camera on Coach Sechrist in between innings and see if he does it.
He probably did. He's probably fired up right now.
Does Coach change signals between seasons or even between games, or how often does Coach Sechrist change up signs?
I'm not sure. I think we had the same signs all 4 years I was there.
Oh, did you?
I'm not sure if they mixed it up. I don't remember them, that's for sure, but maybe I can get a read on them up here.
And there's a slow roll to short. The flip over, and it's a 6-4-3 double play for the Bear River Bears defense. Nice little underhand toss to second to get that going by Marble.
Again, that is a pitcher's best friend, the old double play.
And then Crew, who was robbed in center, now hits into that double play. And so the leadoff hit by Swenson is erased, and here is Ryder Harrison with 2 down. Bear River leading 2-0 on the Wilkinson's House Lights scoreboard.
Oh, wow.
Big swing from Ryder. That one going back, and it's going to drop on the track. One hop to the wall. Harrison's going to put the brakes on, and it's going to be a 2-out double for Ryder.
Wow. He squared that one up, and it hit right off of the bottom of the BYU store logo out there.
I think that's out at Snow Canyon High School.
I do, too.
But it's not out at Miller Park.
It might be out at Snow Canyon. That's funny. I always get jokes about that in practice, like scrimmages and stuff. When I'd hit one pretty good that I think would maybe have a chance, and coaches would make fun of me and say, that's out at Snow Canyon for sure, but not here.
You do have 6 home runs this year. You've got 6. It's pretty good for your freshman year.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You don't have as many as Deming's got.
No, not even close.
Here's the pitch from Deegan Rigby, and that one hops in. Good block there behind the dish by Benson. Talk about Sam Lindsay. He's kind of, you and Isaac were kind of the leaders of the senior class last year, and now Sam's kind of that leader, but he seems like more of a lead by example guy.
Mm-hmm. Sam is, he was always good playing for us. I mean, he hits the ball, and I think this year he knew he was like, he might be, him and Loveland, but he's the only one with kind of like the older kid with more experience, so he kind of had to be a good example to all these younger guys.
You're right, there's only 3 seniors on this entire team. Coden Herman, Loveland,
and Sam
Lindsay.
Yeah.
But Sam, this is a 3-year starter.
Yeah, he's been starting since he was a sophomore.
Yeah, Landon's played a lot of summer ball with Sam and Coden. And Sam he was always kind of a quiet, lead by example kind of player.
Mm-hmm.
Sam got tossed in the Hurricane Series this year.
I heard that, yeah.
So the next home game, he had to sit out to when he got tossed, which was the 4th inning.
Okay.
So he had to sit out the rest of the game. He got tossed. And so I asked Coach Sechrist if he could come in the broadcast booth, and he came up and did kind of what you're doing and kind of hung out and did. He said it was kind of nice to take his mind off of the game for a couple innings before getting back in there. Needless to say, I don't think Sam will get tossed again. He hated every second of sitting out.
Oh,
and I don't really think that he did a lot to get tossed.
He takes one in the shoulder there.
That always hurts. Sam's mom is from Italy. Did you ever go over to the Lindsay house for some good Italian food?
Dude, she made the best sandwiches ever. I never got to have her pasta, and that's what Sam bragged about. But she made sandwiches that were stacked super high, and it had every meat, every cheese. It was so good. It was awesome.
How's the food choices up here? You got your favorite restaurants dialed in up here in Provo?
Yeah, there's a lot of good restaurants. I like Cubby's.
Yeah.
Little spot around the corner. It's pretty good.
Shot to short. Marble flips it over to second, and that'll do it for the third. So the Warriors do get a couple of hits, but can't get any runs. And so Bear River will take the 2-0 lead to the 4th when we come back on the Fan Sports Network. Luke, great to have you, man. Go enjoy the game.
Thanks for having me.
Luke, thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck against Pepperdine this weekend, and we'll see you around.
Appreciate it.
Go Cougs.
Luke Anderson in the booth. We'll take the break. We'll be right back for the 4A State Baseball Championships.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
R. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave. That was fun having Luke up to the booth.
It's always fun having alumni of Region 10 in the booth and willing to share their stories and, talking to him about Region 10 days, about BYU Cougar days. The highlight of his Cougar career so far is coming to this ballpark every day.
Yeah, no question. And obviously the season hasn't went as smooth as the Cougars liked it. They got to get a little help and sweep Pepperdine if they want to get into the WCC tournament. But, for a freshman to come in and start at BYU out of St. George and hit nearly 300 with 6 home runs, I'd say he's having a pretty successful freshman season.
That is really successful.
And here is Deegan Rigby to lead off.
Herman first pitch a strike, 0-1 the count. Deals again, just off the plate for ball 1. Delivers, wind up in the left-handed batter's box for ball 2. Coden, again, righty. His older brother's a lefty. Herman delivers another Cache Valley Bank foul ball over the first base dugout.
Another Snow Canyon alum that is actually at the game today, I didn't know this until just right now, is Landon Fry. And Luke mentioned Landon. And there's a swing and a drive right into the alleyway, hanging up a little bit and ranging over. Ryder Harrison gets to it in time for the out.
Yeah, good play by the left fielder getting over there. Off the bat, that looked like it was right in the gap, but it did. It just hung up there just a little too long for Bear River. But yeah, it was fun having him in here and again kind of sharing those stories. There's a called strike for Herman. Again, Potter.
There's a shot into left for a sharply hit single.
And this is the time of game where Herman needs to be kind of careful, but again, still pitch to contact. But, now the Warriors are chasing 2 runs. You don't want to be chasing 3, 4, and 5 as you get into the later part of this game, Devin. That makes it just much more stressful as a hitter when you're stepping in that batter's box knowing that you need a big hit.
Yes, indeed. I agree. Over the top bender, and it catches the outer half, maybe around the black on the outside part of the plate. Really good location there for a called strike by Herman. Herman rocks, fires. That one's hit into left. Harrison stops and easy out.
That's the old can of corn right there, Devin. For that left fielder, easy play.
Yep.
We saw at Mother's Day brunch yesterday, we saw Coach Mark Nelson. Everybody calls him Nelly.
Yeah.
He's coached so many of these Region 10 players. Coden Herman is certainly one of those as well. And one thing that he always coached to his pitchers and his catchers is, catcher, get that ball back to that pitcher. Pitcher, get that ball and go. Get in a good rhythm and just go with it. And I think it's paid dividends for a lot of Region 9, Region 10 pitchers for sure. I'll tell you what, that brunch up at the Ledges Fish Rock Grill was magnificent.
Yes, indeed. There's a pop-up, and Lindsey coming in, calls everybody off, and makes the catch. That's out number 3, so they do give up a hit. One hit. They do strand that batter out there, Potter. But Warriors, Coden Herman maybe settle in a little bit. Still anybody's game. But the Bears right now showing they've got the 2-0 lead on the scoreboard presented by Wilkinson's. More on the Fan from the 4A State Baseball Championships as well as on KSLSports.com after this timeout.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bride Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
cheesesteak
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's.
435-634-4640 or go to Ledges.com.
Damon Ince set to lead things off as you welcome you back. Ince will step into the Buck Brand Beef batter's box.
Man, you have gotten good at saying that. It's so funny. I was down with the Desert Hills team before their game against Mountain Crest. And, hey, don't tell me advertising doesn't work. They were all down there talking about the Buck Brand Beef batter's box.
I've been wanting to get a side of beef. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, man, those boys, I'll tell you.
Shot to second, caught it 3 inches off the ground for out number 1. Good play there at second.
But I'll tell you what, the only thing I tell Ince, don't change anything but the direction. That was a well-hit ball. It just happened to be right at Potter at second base. Looks like
Tank Kelly.
Crimson Cliffs just joining us here in the stands.
The defending champs have entered Miller Park. Yeah, there's a foul ball up and out of play.
Kelly can certainly square up a ball and send it on the other side of the outfield wall. We've seen him do that before for sure.
Hot shot back to Rigby. Rigby's going to run it over and toss it underhand to first for the out. If he doesn't glove it, it probably gets through. It's hit pretty hard, but a great reaction in the glove there by Deegan Rigby.
Yeah, it was. Nice reaction. And, pitchers just have that instinct to get those. You just wonder how they get it, and it's because they don't think. When you have time to think, that's when you mess up.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the home runs, 33 as a team. Kelly has 3. Of course, Sam Lindsay leads the state. He's tied for the lead in the entire state, all classifications, with 10. Smith has 7. Harrison has 6. Sechrist has 3. Swinson has 3.
Wow.
Hafen has 1. And Hafen at the plate right now. I actually was there at Snow Canyon the night he hit one.
Yeah, we were both on that call.
You and I were on that call.
Yep.
Pulled it left center field.
Yeah.
Little insurance run. They went on to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Facing an 0-2 count, though. I remember when Corbin Hafen played in the Little League World Series in San Bernardino. Would have been, 3 years ago or so?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Kyle Hafen was one of the coaches. Mm-hmm. They had his dad mic'd up during that.
Yeah.
Of course, finally the Snow Canyon Little League got to the Little League World Series for the first time ever this past summer. That Bender from Rigby just stays outside. 1-2.
That's a little too close for me to take as a hitter. You never want to leave it in the umpire's hands, and he kind of did there. He got away with it.
High and away. 2-2 the count. So Corbin Hafen working himself back to 2-2 count. Loveland is on deck. And Deegan Rigby ready to go. The righty. Fastball got him. S&S Mechanical strikeout for out number 3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. And we move on to the 5th here on the Fan and KSLSports.com. Bear River still clinging to a 2-0 lead on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. We'll be right back.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
The AWP Playmaker of the Game.
Back here to Larry H. Miller Field, BYU Cougars at the turf field. Just a beautiful, warm spring day. Temperature is supposed to get up into the 80s today. And Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave on the call. Dusty Allen, our video producer. Cannon Sechrist is running the camera for us. Rory Brosnan back in the Finley Hyundai Studios in St. George. Glad you're with us on the simulcast here on KSLSports.com or the Fan Sports Network. Coden Herman back out to pitch. First pitch swinging right back to him. He'll race it over underhanded to Loveland at first for out number 1.
1 pitch, 1 out. And earlier today, Mountain Crest bested the Desert Hills Thunder. I believe that final score was 5-1?
Yep.
5-1.
Yep. It was 2-1 for a long time, and then they got that base clearing triple.
Yep.
Once they went to the Thunder bullpen.
So right now, currently, Region 11 is 1-0 against Region 10 right now, and the Region 10 team down in this game currently. Yep. So again, a lot of baseball left, but right now it's 2-0 Bear River up on the second-seeded Snow Canyon Warriors. And we always brag about how good Region 10 is, but right now they're 0-1 right now against Region 11 today.
Yes, indeed. But still a long way to go here.
Long ways to go. Top of the 5th.
But you knew you were facing Rigby, who has been terrific for the Bears.
Yeah.
And Herman has given up 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 Warrior error. No runs, just 2 Warrior hits and 2 errors. The Lions score brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors. And there is a 1-out walk for Bear River.
And it looks like Coach Sechrist is going to go out and talk to his hurler.
We're in the top of the 5th. Herman's pitch count is not really a big concern. He's at 65 pitches right now.
Yeah, but it looks like they're going to go
get him.
Yeah.
And which means he stays under the threshold. He can come back on a couple days rest.
Yeah, a couple of days rest for sure. And certainly Snow Canyon is looking to go deep into this tournament. So, yeah, 2 days rest there, 65 pitches.
Well, and Luke Anderson, when he joined us in the broadcast booth, he made a very interesting point that this was the same matchup a year ago at Bruce Hurst Field, and they got Snow Canyon. So this is kind of a revenge game for the Bears of sorts. Of course, Snow Canyon ended up fighting back through the 1-loss bracket, but had to beat Crimson twice and could not force the if necessary game. And Crimson celebrated by dogpiling Bo Sampson on the mound at Utah Tech University. So, Canyon, you know they would love to have another crack at Crimson, but right now they got their hands full with Bear River. And new pitcher into the game here for Snow Canyon.
Yeah, it's number 23, Jackson Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby has been electric in JV, but he hasn't pitched a ton of varsity this year. I was talking with pitching coach Brandon Lyon about Jackson Kirby. His ERA is 2.24.
Okay.
He's 1-0 in varsity, and he's only pitched 25 innings of work or so. So he's seen some work. But he hasn't thrown. But Herman's thrown 35.
Yeah.
Goats has thrown 30. Tank Kelly's thrown 29. So I guess he's 4th in innings pitched so far this year. But this kid has good stuff. Just a junior.
Number 17, Talon Marble.
Kirby mentioned the ERA. Opponent's hitting 198 off of him.
Well, now he's got Talon Marble stepping in, batting .333.
And a pop-up. Loveland's going to give it a look, but it's going to be a Cache Valley Bank foul ball. He's given up 11 runs, only 8 earned. He's walked 5, but he struck out 38. You love the 38-5 strikeout to walk ratio. That is sensational numbers.
That is for sure. And I love the approach that Marble had at the plate, though. He knew that first pitch, a reliever coming in, and he knew that first pitch was going to be a pitch to swing at. And I'll bet if you ask him, he goes, man, I wish I had that back. But I love that approach as a hitter.
That aggressive mindset. And there's another aggressive swing, but he comes up empty, and it's 1-2. Kirby facing Marble. And Rigby's on deck here. Or is it Good Life? It's Good Life. And 2-2. That one just missing. Again, a reminder, we'll be handing out some awards. Got our Morgan Pest Control Defensive Player of the Game award, but not going to get any defense on that one because it's right through the hole past short for a 1-out single and 2 on base now here for the Bears. They just keep finding holes. And so Kirby comes in and gives up a hit in the first guy he faces.
Yeah, that 5-6 hole is open more times than not for sure.
Here's Garrison Marble. Excuse me. I was looking at the wrong spot in my lineup card. You go Marble and Marble back to back.
Yeah. Righty and then lefty.
Mm-hmm. Kirby fastball down Broadway. Strike 1.
Garrison batting .378.
Yep. Good numbers. And a chance here with a runner in scoring position to add to the 2-0 lead if he can find an alleyway out there. Or grab an extra base hit. And that one fouled off. 0-2 the count. Summers is a second. Marble at first, with Garrison Marble at the plate. Outside. Ball one. Wind is absolutely stopped to a standstill.
Yeah, that flag out there is just hanging.
And the pitch fouled up, going to be out of play down the third base line. Oh, it didn't quite get out of play, but it kind of in no man's land by the Warriors bullpen. And nobody can get to it. One hopped into the fence. And count remains 1-2. Appreciate Mountain Land Supply, featuring Bryant, Southern Utah's premier heating and cooling systems for your home or commercial property. Bryant, whatever it takes, found at Mountain Land Supply. The pitch outside, nibbling on the edge, doesn't get the call. Just a reminder, our Bucks Ace Hardware look ahead. Our next game will be Crimson Cliffs and Green Canyon. That'll be coming up, scheduled 5:30 start. 5:30. Now, this game did start about 8 or 9 minutes late, so maybe that will be pushed back a few minutes, depending on how long this game goes. Right now, 4:14, so pacing okay. Got to give teams some in and out and time to warm up.
But the number one seed kind of on the ropes right now.
Yeah, down
2-0, 2 men on, only one out for Bear River.
Swing and a miss.
Make that 2 outs.
There's the first Kirby S&S Mechanical strikeout. Don't strike out and wait till it's too hot and your AC goes down. Get it AC tune-up from S&S Mechanical, your heating and cooling and plumbing experts.
That's a big out for the Warriors. And Jackson out there on the mound.
So 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Jackson Kirby in relief for Coden Herman. Just above the K zone. Ball 1 to Good Life. What screwed me up is I looked at the wrong Marble when I was looking at Good Life on deck. Well,
Good Life, that's right.
You got Marble back-to-back, Double D. Here's Kirby rocking, firing, and gets the outside part of the plate for a called strike.
And usually when you got those marbles going back-to-back, and then it is a Good Life because those guys get hits more times than not. Marble, and Good Life.
Appreciate Nets on Fire. Again, our Nets on Fire scoreboard from earlier today. Mountain Crest edged Desert Hills 5-1. So the winner of this game will play Mountain Crest. Meanwhile, the loser of this game will play Desert Hills. Talk more about that at the conclusion of this game. 4A state tournament coverage presented by the Boulevard for over 48 years, making your house more like home. Kirby breaking ball, doesn't break a lot, trying to paint the outside. Maybe that was a slider, Mark.
Yeah, that looked like it had a lot of movement to it, moving right to left if you're the hitter.
Kirby taking his time, long stare in. Smith behind the dish.
Deuces are wild.
And swing and a miss, and another K to hang on the board for Jackson Kirby. So he does give up a hit, but then goes and gets 2 consecutive strikeouts in relief, and the score remains Bear River 2, Snow Candy nothing on the Wilkinson scoreboard. More 4A baseball coverage here on your sports leader, the Fan Sports Network, right after this break.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Catch Grass Valley Bank. Mountains await. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here at Miller Park. This is just game 2, everybody. We're not even halfway home on a Monday. As Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave hanging out here in the broadcast booth. And appreciate Rally Stop, House of Jump, Luke Udy and Associates, American Family Insurance, Findlay Subaru, some of our great sponsors, Ben Blasters. Looking for our Ben Blasters Blast of the Game. They have that clean can plan. You can go to their website, and I think it's $19.90 a month.
It is, yep.
To have monthly service to keep your garbage cans clean from Ben Blasters, benblasters.com. Hopefully, at some point, we'll get a donut run home run. Appreciate the donut run over there by KB Express off Brigham Road. Some of our great partners bringing you state championship baseball here on the network. Appreciate our streaming sponsor, UCCU Credit Union on KSLSports.com. First pitch in for a strike to Loveland. Pitch 2 down low, so quickly 1-1 to one of just 3 Warrior seniors, Braden Loveland.
Yeah, and again, we're getting into those later part of the innings where the Warriors need to get some runs on the board.
Slow roller. Marble grabs it at short. The throw is money and 1 away. 6-3 the put out in your scorebook.
They really need to get some traffic on the base pass and get it to where Rigby is pitching stress pitches. Right now, he's kind of been cruising. There's been a couple of innings where the Warriors have had a little traffic out there, but it feels to me like he is just kind of on cruise control out there, Devin.
Does have to deal with the top of the order now. Mikhail Swinson steps in with 1 away.
Mikhail's 1 for 2.
Who checked to swing off the off-speed pitch and froze him there for strike 1. Just a beautiful pitch by Deegan Rigby, huh?
Yes, it was. That was definitely a pitcher's pitch.
Fastball. Shallow center field. Could be trouble. And a diving catch is not made. Swinson puts the brakes on. Will head back to first. And that is a dirty bomb by Mikhail Swinson.
Yeah, and what a great base running decision, too. Not to try to stretch that into a double, get thrown out. You need base runners out there. You need to make it to where Rigby is throwing some stress pitches. And when you get some traffic out there on the base pass, that certainly makes those pitches stress pitches.
Here's Cruz Sechrist. Of course, all his brothers played for Coach Sechrist. I asked Reed during the season, he came on our radio show down in St. George here on the Fan, and who's the best Sechrist that you coached? And he's like, Crew definitely started like hitting the weights in the gym and eating properly, and he said his older brother's been helping him a lot with that. So he's a little ahead of the game. But Cannon just finished up his pitching career at RU out in the Pac West.
Yeah, it was fun. I was out there talking to Cannon as he's doing the camera work out there for us and getting to know him a little bit better and some of the places that he's played, and he's been pitching, with Dallin Turner up in the San Francisco area.
Landon Levine was out there too.
Landon Levine also, yep.
A couple of former Utah kids.
It was fun to get to know him.
And that one, breaking ball, good block behind the dish.
Boy, those catchers sure do work hard down there.
Yeah, Benson slid out of his stance and blocked it, made it look routine. The importance of a good defensive catcher in this state tournament cannot be
huge,
understated.
It is huge.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Instead, we got a snap throw over to first.
Again, if you don't have a catcher that can make those slides and make those blocks, and you're just a wall back there, that runner on first is now on second. He was on second, now he's on third. It's huge.
Fastball, and Rigby on cue just rifles it in there. That was his 60th pitch of the game. And Rigby has been very good with his command. He's walked just 1. He's not really overpowering guys. He's not striking out guys, but just 2 Ks. But he's definitely allowing his defense to make plays behind him. There's a slow roller through the hole who was vacated because they had a hit and run on.
Yes.
And Swinson's going to cruise into third, and so runners on the corners for the Warriors with just 1 out.
Perfect time to put the hit and run in motion. because it takes that second baseman out of position, opens up that 2-3 or the 3-4 hole, and it allows Swenson to go from first to third. So, yeah, great call there by Coach Sechrist.
And you got your number 3 and 4 hitters due up here. Ryder Harrison steps in. Sam Lindsay is on deck. We're in the bottom of the 5th.
This is a big-time part of the game here for the Warriors. Again, you've got traffic out there on the base paths. You've got your 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. These guys might not get another shot until the bottom of the 7th, if that. So this is a crucial part of the game for the Warriors.
Kind of feel like maybe our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play the game could be kind of, if Snow Canyon's going to come back, it could be about to happen here. Appreciate Appliance Wholesalers Plus, one of the nicest showrooms. Save money, buy direct from the distributor at Appliance Wholesalers Plus. Dishwashers, ranges, refrigerators, laundry sets, GE, Samsung products over there at AWP. They're probably watching. They're big fans of high school sports, probably listening. So shout out to the guys at AWP.
Absolutely.
Shane, Jesse, and the guys.
Some of my faves.
Of course, we'll officially name that in our post-game show. Presented by Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. Deegan Rigby, though, trying to work out of a little jam. Runners on the corners. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Harrison fouls it out of play. And that one landed on the street here, and we're a motorcycle rider with 2 people on it. Just about got hit. Is that North Canyon Road? I can't remember what road that is, but that is a dangerous road for baseballs coming through your windshield.
This is a big time at bat for Harrison. This is where you've got to put it in play, and you've got to push that runner from third across home plate.
0-2 pitch and another foul, and this one could.
A strikeout or a lazy pop fly in the infield, that is a huge out. So, again, you have to make this a productive out if you do get out. You've got to hit a deep fly ball. You've got to hit a hard ground ball. Get that runner from third across home plate. With 1 out, this is crucial.
Here's the pitch, and it's just staying alive, catching a piece there. Looking for our Red Bed Regeneration Energy Play. What is Red Bed Regeneration? Well, you can go over there and check it out. You get lit up with their red light therapy. They have beds developed by NASA for astronauts. Heals scars, inflammation, decreases pain. The benefits are endless. Helps you burn fat faster. For more information, go to redbedregen.com.
Boy, I need to burn fat and I have pain, Devin.
We're getting older, buddy. You're not hurting enough to play some golf, I hope.
Oh, heavens no. Harrison called timeout right as the pitch was being delivered. One of my little pet peeves, Devin, is I feel that once that pitcher is in motion, that umpire does not have to grant that timeout by the hitter. He did that time, and that would have been a called third strike on the outside part of the plate. That was a good pitch by Rigby.
Here comes Rigby, the 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1.
He tried to go to the same spot, but just missed it.
Rigby's pitch count now up to 66. He's faced 20 batters. He's given up just 4 hits.
A little bit more stress this inning, though. Again, the Warriors have had traffic out there on the base paths. He's having to pitch out of the stretch.
That one fouled off the bat of Harrison.
And Harrison just battling and staying alive here.
Harrison has been part of this Warrior team for the last 2 years as a starter. Saw a little bit of time actually as a freshman, but I don't think he was an everyday starter. Just a junior now. And the windup and the pitch and a shot made it off the glove. The only play is at first, and so they'll trade a run for an out, and it's a 2-1 game. It's an infield ground ball that's going to score a run, and Snow Canyon finally gets that goose egg off that scoreboard here at Miller Park. Hit it well. Did it hit the glove? Take a look at the replay. Does it hit Rigby's glove? No.
Went under.
And because they were going on contact, runner no play at second. Only play was the first.
But I love that at bat by Harris. Harrison. Again, that was such a crucial time of this half inning with a runner on third, just to put the ball in play, make it be a productive out. And he did.
So Ryder Harrison, the fielder's choice RBI. First pitch swinging by Sam Lindsay, and this has popped up. It looks like it's going to be playable right near the dugout, but Bear River, they got it for out number 3. So Snow Canyon gets 1, but that was it. And so we move to the 6th here at Miller Park in the 4A State Baseball Championships. Bear River's lead is cut in half, 2-1 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Visit netsonfire.org.
All right, we're back here at Larry H. Miller Field here on the campus of BYU. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave getting ready to go to the, are we at the top of the 6th already, Devin?
Oh, yeah. Moving right along. Lower scoring game. Kind of similar to what we saw earlier if you're just tuning in. Nets on Fire score update from the first game of the day. Mountain Crest wins it over Desert Hills by a score of 5-1, but it was 2-1 going into the later innings, just like this one is. And now Kirby back out to pitch in relief of Coden Herman. And Jackson Kirby, fastball down Broadway, strike 1. Yeah, 2 runs for the Bears on 5 hits. 1 run on 4 hits for the Warriors.
Swing and a miss right there. Great pitch by Kirby. Keeping Rigby off balance a little bit with that off speed. Outfield playing straight away. Infield playing normal depth.
Rigby, though, can help himself out. He's in line to get the win right now. See if he can get a little leadoff single here. Big swing and a miss. Struck him out. And Kirby had other ideas.
That's right. 3 pitches. All 3 strikes.
22nd base, number 3, Holden Potter.
Here's Potter with 1 out.
Potter's 1 for 2 today.
Yeah, the hits for Bear River today. 2 for Marble, 1 for Potter, 1 for Jepson, 1 for Roach. Some of those coming from the bottom of the order there. Roach, the guy that hit Jepson and Roach, that's your 8 and 9 hitters that have a hit each. You look at all the 4 hits from Snow Canyon, they're all coming from the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, all the top of the order.
Right.
No one fouled out of play, and count now 2-1. Potter, right-handed batter against the right-handed pitcher, and that one's high. 3-1.
Definitely hitter's count here. He can. He's chasing the fastball here. He's not swinging if it's an off-speed pitch, guaranteed.
Potter 4.11 batting average, and he draws the walk. That one was high. Potter. I have it as his 15th walk drawn of the season. That puts him about 4th on Bear River's team in that department. So a good eye.
Yeah.
Well, Kirby came in relief with runners on base, so not like he hasn't been in this situation before since entering this game. And now Smith wants to come out and chat. He'll bounce out of his catcher's stance and jog out to the mound and give the ball back to Kirby. What do you say there, Mark?
He just says, hey, let's pound the zone. Throw strikes. You got a defense behind you. Just reminding him that he has a defense behind him. Don't try to nibble at the corners. Let's just pound the zone, put the ball in play.
Swing and a miss, and that one was definitely around the zone. But Carter couldn't find it. Carter's 0 for 2 in the game. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 the count.
You know, it's funny that when we were talking to Luke up here a little bit earlier and reminiscing a little bit about, youth baseball and, what's Coach Sechrist saying out there, or what's Coach Lyon saying out there on the bump. I remember we were up in Beaver one time for a youth baseball tournament, 12-year-old, Landon's age. Jager Baldwin from Crimson Cliffs, Landon, and a few other, Brexton Starley, all on the team. There's a hard ground ball.
Yep. Roller out to short, the flip to second, and they do get the lead runner for out number 2. Not hit hard enough though, to try to turn a double play.
And I remember a couple of walks in a row, so I go out there, call the infield in. Didn't say anything about baseball. I said, Jager, where are we going to go to lunch today after this? Didn't talk any baseball. I just felt they were a little tight, so I just went out there and talked a little lunch and little girlfriends.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we were laughing about that the other day as I was talking to Jager. I think so. That's a long time ago. I think it did, though.
Kirby has that one ripped right back up the middle over his head into center field for a sharply hit Ben Blaster single. BenBlaster.com. You can get the clean can plan starting at $19.99 a month.
Warriors got a run back in the bottom of the 5th. Now, you don't want to give that run back here in the top of the 6th if you're part of Warrior Nation. Obviously, Bear Rivers really rooting on their players.
Yeah, but Jepson is seeing it well. It's a multi-hit game for him.
Mm-hmm.
And now Roach, who is 1 for 2, will step in. So Coach Hawes is loving the production from the bottom of his lineup today against the number 1 seed. This would be a big storyline if Bear River can win this game, just like they did last year.
Absolutely, this is a big storyline right now.
And they're in position to win this game. First pitch there from Kirby, a strike at the knees on the outside part of the plate.
And just mentally, if the Warriors can get out of this, just mentally, chasing 1 run going into the last 2 innings is so much different than chasing 2 or 3 runs.
Absolutely. Time called. Roach will step out. Now he steps back in. The righty Kirby delivers, swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Jepson's at first, Carter's at second.
Big pitch here. Kirby, just don't put anything down the middle of the zone here. This is a time where you can kind of nibble. And he did go up high in the zone, elevated.
And it looked like Hayden Smith, the catcher, wanted that outside.
Yeah.
See where Smith sets up behind the dish here.
Again, still a pitcher's count here. You don't have to throw him anything good.
And swing and a miss. High fastball, got him. It's an S&S mechanical strikeout. And Jackson Kirby comes in relief, and the lead is still 2-1. They do get a couple hits there, and do strand a couple on base, but the Warriors don't let the Bears get any more insurance runs. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. Warriors and Bears locked in a good one. Bear River with a 1-run lead.
Inspired design. Ultra-quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's.
Rally stop. Swing on in today.
Back live here at Miller Park. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Bears by a run. And kind of crunch time for both these teams. This is game 2 of 4 for us here on KSLSports.com and the Fan Sports Network. Coming up next, Crimson and Green Canyon. 5:30 scheduled start time. And our look ahead brought to you by Bucks Ace Hardware. And, of course, the nightcap tonight, Dixie Ridgeline.
Yeah.
That's the 6-3 matchup.
Right. Yeah, both games have been really good games. 2-1 games going into the 6th innings here. You know, Mountain Crest kind of opened the game up a little bit against Desert Hills, winning 5-1. But like we'd mentioned earlier, it was 2-1 going into the 6th.
Hayden Smith to lead things off here. 7 home runs on the season. Damon Ince in the on-deck circle. And 5, 6, 7 hitters due up to start this 6th inning.
Breaking ball doesn't quite break enough for ball 1. 1-1 the count.
And that one popped up and out of play. It's a Cache Valley Bank foul ball. Appreciate Jason Baum, Equity Home Loans. Need a loan? BaumLoans.com. Also, appreciate Intermountain Sports Performance. Time for summer training. Spots will fill up fast, so get locked in. There is no off-season. Locations from Logan to St. George. So call for your summer training options, 435-251-2299. 2-2 pitch up high, full count to Smith. Rigby's at 73 pitches now.
Yep, that's what I have. 74 now.
74. Yep, that was his 74th. Now here's pitch number 75 for Deegan Rigby. And he got him. It's an S&S mechanical strikeout. Nibbling on the outside edge of the K-zone.
Dev, I'm not quite sure about that one, but the umpire says it's a strike. It's a strike. But, boy, that from our vantage point looked like it was off the plate a little bit. That's a tough one. Tough one to take.
Ince will step in with 1 out.
But, again, if you're Rigby, why not keep going out there?
Rigby's 3rd strikeout of the game.
But again, it also brings up that point, too, where I brought up a little earlier, is if it's close, you got to foul that ball off. You can't leave it in the hands of the umpire.
That one fouled up and out of play. Off the bat of Damon Ince. I haven't talked an awful lot about Ince, but another guy that has fought his way into the everyday second base position. He's a junior, and he's hitting 350. That's why the defense is solid, but the bat is come alive in the second half of the season. Early in the year, he was splitting a lot of time at second with Andrew Lyon. But I think the bat's just been a little bit better. And that one just down low. 3-1 the count.
And again, something I always told my youth players, if you can hit, they'll find a place for you. If you can hit, they will find a place for you.
Yep. And that one on 3-1 pitch. What does Deegan Rigby do? Finds the zone. Full count.
Let's see if he tries to get that outside part of the plate again. Get that called 3rd strike.
Slow roller over to first. I'll have to flip over to Rigby covering at the bag, and he steps on the bag in time to get Ince 2 away. So quickly 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah.
And Rigby, just 80 pitches so far in this game. These were 2 outs into the bottom of the 6th. So you might not get to the bullpen of Bear River the way Rigby's pitching.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's been very efficient all game long.
That one outside and low, ball 1. Tank Kelly Hit 284. Oh, that one was pulled well foul. That might have hit your truck, Mark.
Thank goodness I'm parked down the first base side, not the third base side.
Okay, it might have hit my truck.
That's right. Might have hit the fan truck.
That's over that way.
Oh, boy.
I think you can pull one that far foul. Oh, and he beamed him.
Got him.
He beamed him. I don't think he wanted to hit down Kelly there with 2 outs.
No, Rigby does not want to put base runners on. Not at this point of the game.
And so Corbin Hafen will step in. 1 on, 2 outs, bottom 6th. Loveland on deck, and then they got the top of the order. They are going to bring in Ledger Ship to run for Talon Kelly. So umpires making a note of that. Gives us to remind you, 4A State Baseball brought to you by the Boulevard for over 48 years. Making your house more like home. Again, we'll be naming a Jersey Mike sub of the game. Got to get it Mike's way. Jersey Mike's. It's up by a Utah location today. Hafen 0 for 2 today. Rigby, the righty, rocks and check swing. Did he go? I think he did. No, he did not. Thought maybe he did.
Bear River crowd didn't like it. Warrior Nation's like, yeah, no, he didn't go.
I'd like to see that one again. Of course, we don't have a camera that
and
zooms in at the plate.
And there's another one. I don't think those are check swings. I mean, they are check swings. I don't think he's going far enough on those. And that's the thing, too, with the check swing. It's all just on discretion, what the umpire thinks. There's no hard rule on the check swing. I've read rules on it before, and it's like intent. What's his intent? Well, his intent was that he was going to swing and then tried to pull up.
Right. Changed his mind.
So, yeah, the check swing, I wish there was a black and white type of ruling on that, if the hands go past the front of the home plate or something.
2-1 count. Snap throw to first. Ship's back in plenty of time. Ledger, modest lead, just 3 short strides off the bag. Deegan Rigby, the pitch, fouled straight back. 2-2 on Corbin Hafen. Let's go back to that chest swing. Let's take a look at the replay, see if we can see. No, that's not it. Wrong play. We'll dig it up in the archives. 2-2 count with 2 outs.
You missed it, Deb.
Oh, I missed it. Did he go or did he not go?
Those hands went out towards the pitcher, but the barrel of the bat did not. So, again, there's just no hard defined rule. There's not a black and white rule on the check swing. It's all umpire's discretion.
And he said no swing. And the appeal, the second umpire in the field said no swing, so we go with it. Now the 2-2 count with 1 on, 2 outs. Ship's going on the pitch and it's fouled. Another Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
Yes, I like Sechrist, Coach Sechrist's call here, though. Try to get that runner in motion, and it makes that defense go in motion too. So more holes, different holes open up for the hitter. And instead of going from first to third in a gap, he could go first to home if he gets a good lead and a good jump.
Rigby, the pitch, outside. Full count. So Corbin Hafen battling here with Rigby. I think this is going to be the 10th pitch of the sequence? 9th pitch of the sequence?
Well, Rigby all of a sudden went from 80 pitches and being very efficient and maybe not even getting to that Bear River bullpen to now 90 pitches.
Here's the payoff pitch. Rigby.
Runner goes.
Lost him. Ball 4 outside. So he hits a guy and then gives up a walk, and all of a sudden with 2 outs, a little rally stop, 2-out rally in effect here for the Snow Canyon Warriors, down 2-1.
Hey, base hits, scores a run, ties this game up here for the Warriors. So again, one of the seniors being called upon here, Loveland, now stepping into the batter's box, the Buck brand beef batter's box. Devin, you say that so eloquently, I have to slow down.
I just want some of their beef. Remind me to call between games.
I will, definitely.
I've been planning on it. Swinging a drive.
There we go.
This one's got a beat on it, though. Right fielder Jepson makes the play. It was hit with some cut slice spin right to the right fielder, who had a great angle, and you can kind of see he had a beat on that. And so we go to the 7th. Bear River leading Snow Canyon still 2-1 here on the Fan Sports Network and streaming on KSLSports.com. Stay with us for the finish.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main and Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
2299 to find the location nearest you.
Hey, back here at Miller Park, Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, the Fan Sports Network crew teaming up with KSL on the live stream. Live stream presented by UCCU Credit Union. We go to the 7th. And Hunter will lead off for Bear River against Kirby. And Kirby right down Broadway, strike one.
Yeah, Kirby, nice location on that fastball in the outer part of the plate. That one down in the zone a little bit for ball one. 1-1 the count.
And Summers puts a rope into that one, but right to Ince at second, who gloves it for out number 1.
Yeah, again, a couple of balls lined up, but they have went right to the second baseman. I think actually Ince hit one. That the only thing that I would change is the direction.
Well, here comes Talon Marble, then Garrison Marble. You got the good spot in the order for Coach Hawes here to start the 7th. You got the top of the order here. But Summers lines out. Talon, multi-hit game, looking for more. Kelly goes and gets it and then throws a dagger for out number 2.
Boy, what a great play. That's the only play that could be made. If that would have went to Seacrest at shortstop, it wouldn't have been in time. But Kelly Ship actually just pops in front of it and throws it over.
Was that Ledger at third?
That's what I'm showing here on Game Changer.
And that 0-1 pitch in for strike 2. I think that's Tank still.
It does look like Tank out there.
Yeah, Ledger's a little bit smaller than Tank. That's Tank at third.
Oh, they've changed it now. They're listening to our broadcast, Devin, and they changed it.
1 and 2 probably pushed the wrong button in Game Changer. more like.
Well, remember, he came in to run for Tank.
Right. And switched it back.
Yeah.
And that one fouled off the bat of Garrison Marble. So the count is 1 and 2. Been impressed with Kirby on the back end.
I have too. And you know what? One of the things that I love about him too is that he's ready to rock and roll. He gets that ball back and he's ready to go.
Yeah, decent velo, good movement. Works quick, like you alluded to.
Yeah.
Pop up, but that's going to get out of play. Appreciate Adams Wealth Advisor, our stats sponsor. Markets unpredictable. Reaching your financial goals shouldn't be. Schedule a consultation, adamswealthadvisors.com. You look at Kirby on the back end, and he went 2 1/3, giving up just 2 hits, walked 1, and he struck out 4. It's the stat line for Kirby coming in for Coden Herman. Herman left when it was 2-0. Snow Canyon's cut it to 2-1. Bear River loves some insurance runs here, but already quickly 2 outs, but the count now full to Garrison Marble. Is that one just missing?
Yeah, Garrison being patient up there. Kirby got ahead of him 1-2.
Payoff pitch, pulled foul. Hit well, but a couple feet foul of the first base bag. Just a reminder, we'll have the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Quick wrap-up, hand out awards, get a final look at the box score, final thoughts on the game as there's a shot to second, and this will be a 4-3 put-out. And then we'll take a quick break, and we'll get you ready for the next game. But this was not over. 2-1 going to the bottom of the 7th. The 8 seed trying to upset the 1 seed. As a rally in the cards for the Warriors. Stay tuned to find out.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, welcome back. Miller Park, Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave. To the 7th we go. 2-1 Bear River.
Dev, I'm a little jealous.
What's up?
Well, I'm looking over at Macy, my wife, and she has this big old Slurpee, this big old slushy going on.
She didn't offer to bring you one, huh?
No, she did not. No, that was a...
I bet there'll still be some left when you get over there.
Good Hawkeye by our video producer here. Dusty spotted that.
Oh, he knows a good Slurpee when he sees one.
I may not be good at watching baseball.
Yeah, he just said, I may not be good at watching baseball, but I can spot the slushies. Hey, 3 more outs here for the Warriors. They're chasing 1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yep. And you got to do it against the ace, Deegan Rigby, who pumps that one in for strike 1.
Rigby now is at 93 pitches.
Top of the order, though, you got Swenson, Sechrist, Harrison due up. So you kind of like that. And now you've seen Rigby a couple times through here, 3 times through. There's a 4th look at him here for Mikhail Swenson.
Yeah, Mikhail swinging the bat well, seeing the ball well. 2 for 3 today. So this is the right kid you want leading off here this inning.
High. Ball 1, 2-1. Or 1-2, excuse me.
This has been a great baseball game.
This one lobbed high off the bat, and the right fielder coming in, sliding, makes the catch. How about Jepson out there and right?
Jepson with a nice track on that ball. He had to come a long ways to get that, and just to slide on his butt and make that catch is a really nice play by an outfielder.
Here is Cruz Sechrist. Bear River 2 outs away from the victory here.
Crew needs to find a way on the base pass if you're part of Warrior Nation.
Rigby has other ideas. Strike one down the middle. I'm impressed with Rigby.
I am too. He has really been dealing
This
today.
kid is on the college scouts radar. I guarantee you that much. Again, just a junior. 1-1. Just a bit outside. 1-1 pitch. Ooh. Paints the outside corner. Strike two.
That's a tough one to take if you're Sechrist.
Now you got to protect the plate. And he does a shot. It's extra base hit. Sechrist is going to get it down the line past third, and he's going to have a stand-up double. It's a one-out double by Sechrist.
What a great piece of hitting right there, if I can get that out of my mouth, Devin. He just put the barrel out there and just squared it up right down the third baseline.
And the tying run is now at second with one out here in the bottom of the seventh. Little golf shot.
Yeah, like I said, just good things happen sometimes when you just throw the barrel out there.
And now Ryder Harrison will step in. Ryder 1 for 2 today. And Rigby's at 100 pitches exactly. He can go to 115 plus finish the batter. He wants to go the distance. Coach Hawes wants him to go the distance. And he's still throwing. He doesn't strike one there. He doesn't show any signs of fatiguing to me.
No, he really doesn't.
Which I think what college coaches will like about this kid.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have to come out just because of the pitch count, but it won't be because of fatigue.
Unless he gets a line-out double play or something.
Yeah, that's true.
And now time called again by Ryder Harrison.
KZZAM, Para 1, KONY, HD3 St. George. On translator, K226CM Cedar City, K258DS St. George, and K237GA St. George.
Yes, we are the Fan Sports Network.
Station identification.
Kicking off the 5 o'clock hour here, and we're in the bottom of the seventh. One out, one on. Ryder Harrison down low, 1-1 the count. That one just missing. Sam Lindsay is on deck.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Warrior Nation and Bear Nation, I don't know what they call themselves at Bear River, but boy, they are on pins and needles right now, Devin.
Yeah, that double by Sechrist changes things dramatically. Harrison puts a beat on that one. It's tailing away, and this was drifting back over the wall. It's a walk-off home run. Ryder Harrison has won it.
I am looking at the Desert Hills Thunder players, and their jaws are just dropping right now. They're sitting right in front of us, and I think my jaw dropped as well, Devin.
Wow. Ryder Harrison, his home run since the 1 seed past Bear River. Are you kidding me, Mark? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
We got to take a look at this again. Ryder Harrison winning it for the Warriors. And this pitch is...
And he went oppo.
Yeah. Opposite field, bottom of the seventh, and game over.
Right below the Go Cougars.
Ryder Harrison has won it for the Snow Canyon Warriors.
Wow.
We catch our breath.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. I hate that. I hate that for Rigby.
I was just going to say the same darn thing, Devin. Rigby just pitched a gem of a game, and for it to end like that is just heartbreaking to me. But for Harrison, for him to end it that way, oh, my goodness, he will have this story to tell for a lifetime.
Unbelievable. We catch our breath. The final on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. 3-2. Ryder Harrison walks it off. That means Snow Canyon will play Mountain Crest tomorrow. Desert Hills will have to face Bear River tomorrow in an elimination game.
I'm speechless.
Unbelievable. We'll take a 60-second timeout. The Johnson Pediatric post-game show right after this.